Aral ba o may specific topics? Papaano ko mapapadali ito para sa inyo?
Pakilapag na lang yung sagot, Dok.
Sige. Sige ano, pwede na ba tayo mag-start? Hello, ayan. Nakikita na ba yung screen?
Yes po.
Naririnig niyo ako? So, ayun na nga. Good afternoon. Ako si Bevin Dominic Sadol. Yung iba tawag niya sa akin si Doc na nagdala ng gripo nung nakaraan. Pero I am here today to discuss to you about sex hormones. Doc, madali lang ba yung sex hormones? Pwede. Mahirap ba yung biochem? Ayun ang tanong ko sa inyo, mahirap ba yung biochem? Hindi.
Mahirap, Dok.
Bakit? At bakit mahirap?
Daming kakabisaduhin, Dok.
Daming kakabasaduhin. Well, sa board exams kasi, ang biochem kasi more on, oo, syempre kailangan nyo magkabisa. Tapos yung mga information na nakabisado nyo, papaikot-ikutin yan. Tapos gagawin yung application doon. Mamaya, magbibigay ako ng mga sample questions. Tapos, para lang may idea kayo paano tinatanong sa biochem. So, ayun na nga, let's start sa sex hormones. Huwag kayong mag-alala, saglit lang to. Saglit lang to. Hindi ako
Sige lang,
mag-over.
Dok.
Oo, saglit lang to. For our objectives, at the end of the session, the student will be able to enumerate the types of male and female sex hormones, list sites of male and female sex hormone synthesis, syempre, pati metabolism, effects ng male and female sex hormones. To start, syempre sa male sex hormones muna tayo. Sa male sex hormones, meron tayong principal hormones, ibig sabihin ay yung predominant na meron tayo meron kami usually. Testosterone and dihydrotestosterone. Meron din tayong other hormones, androstenedione, the DHEA, the androstenediol, and the estradiol. Dok, yung lalaki pala merong estrogen? Oo, meron din. Pero konti lang. Kasi kapag yan dumami, magmumukha na kaming babae. Ano ba tong mga to, Dok? So, sa principal hormones, ang testosterone, gusto ko lang maalala nyo, siya yung most significant, siya yung pinakamarami. Usually, mamaya di-discuss natin, siya yung precursor ng mga hormones listed below. Kapag sinabi natin dihydrotestosterone, siya si most active. Again, most significant, testosterone. More active o most active, dihydrotestosterone. Class, yung mga inuulit kong words, please, kahit alam kong hindi nyo mapipick up to lahat. Alam kong lahat kayo pagod na. Kung may notes kayo or what, or meron kayong notebook, pakilista na lang yung mga buzzwords na sinasabi ko kasi paulit-ulit ay yung tatanungin hanggang board exams. For the other hormones, meron tayong DHEA. Sa male, not of great significance. Pero sa female, siya yung responsible for the androgenic symptoms like hirsutism and decreased menses. Then meron tayong estradiol. Ang estradiol, female hormone siya. Pwede rin siya mag-synthesize sa Sertoli cells sa testis, pero konti lang. Konti lang. And implicated in post-pubertal gynecomastia in patients. Mamaya, di-discuss natin yan. Ulitin ko, testosterone most significant, dihydrotestosterone most active. The DHEA, not of great significance sa males, pero sa females, nagkakos siya ng androgenic syndromes. Tapos sa estradiol, post-pubertal gynecomastia. Again, alin yung most significant? Type in the chat box. Doko lang choices? Hindi, wala talaga kayang yan. Wow, ang galing. Very good. Testosterone. Ano ang most active? Type in the chat box. Cut shortcut, okay lang. DHT, DHT, DHT. Huwag niyong kakalimutan to ha. Dihydrotestosterone. Responsible for androgenic syndromes. Ayan na. Si testosterone ba? Si DEA? O si estradiol? DEA, DEA. Okay, very good. Ang galing. Implicated in gynecomastia, the DEA, testosterone, estradiol. Ayan na, may choices na kayo. Siguro ano na ito, estradiol. Kasi nasagot ko na yung DEA. Estradiol, estradiol. Sige lang. Estradiol. Okay, very good. Tapos, site of synthesis of the answer in number 4 among males. Kailangan yung specific cells. Hindi pwede yung organ. Kailangan yung specific cells. Nakikinig, ang galing. Sige, very good. Sertoli cell sa testis. Okay, very good. Good job. Ayan na. Mukhang marami, pero ngayon nasasagot niya na ako. Very good. So again, meron tayong sites of synthesis sa male sex hormones. Merong testis, the adrenal glands, and the saan dyan? Alin dyan? Ovaries, uterus, cervix, vagina, fallopian tubes. Sige, type in the chat box. Saan dyan? Tingnan niyo lang. Okay, very good. Ovaries. Sa babae. So, women can also produce male sex hormones sa ovaries. Sa tatlong to, ano yung main site of synthesis ng male sex hormones? Multiple choice, kaso picture lang. Kala mo histology. Okay, very good. The testis. Ang main site natin testis, pero don't forget, pwede rin ito masynthesize sa ovaries. Before we dive further sa synthesis ng male sex hormones, we need to understand that the cholesterol is the parent compound of male sex hormones. Sige, Greg, paano mo ito basahin yung 19 carbon atom? Ano, icebreaker lang. Paano? Call a friend.
Si Dube na lang po.
O, Dube. Sige nga, basahin mo, Dube.
Ano po, Doc?
Yung 19 carbon atom.
Cyclopentanoperhydropenantrin.
Okay, isa pa, mas mabilis.
Mamabulol ako, Doc.
Okay lang.
Cyclopentanoperhydropenantrin.
O, diba? Ang haba-haba ng word. Pero ano ba ibig sabihin yan? Ang cholesterol, meron kang 4 na rings. A, B, C, D. Kung mapapansin nyo, not all rings are six-sided. Meron kang 3 cyclohexane, at si ring D, meron kang isang cyclopentane. Siya si cyclopentanoperhydropenantrin. Dok, ang bilis. Oh, mayabang ako eh, ganun lang. Meron kang 4 rings, A, B, C, D, 19 carbon atom, cyclopentanoperhydropenantrin. Tandaan nyo, meron kang 3 rings dyan, A, B, C, D, cyclohexane. 6-sided rings, pati isang ring, ring D, cyclopentane. Doc, tinatanong ba yan sa board exam? Most probably not. Pero kailangan niya lang malaman, meron siyang 4 rings, A, B, C, and D. With an 8 carbon side chain, carbon 20 hanggang 27. Gets? Sige, let's move on. Doc, ang haba. Doc, ang daming shapes. Paano ko to aralin? Kasi kapag mag-aaral kayo ng ganyan, mag-aaral kayo ng biochem, meron kayong mga overwhelming charts, overwhelming tables, overwhelming pathways. Ang gawin nyo, step by step. Kung kakain kayo ng cake, huwag niyong kakainin ng isang buo yung cake. One slice at a time. No? So magsisimula tayo dito, syempre. Yan. Kailangan nyo nang matuto. Yung first pathway na to, first step na to, na-discuss to kanina ni Dr. Madarcos. By the way, yung ano na to, galing kay Dr. Madarcos din. Kasi maganda talaga yung ginagawa niyang mga tables. Please, makinig kayo kila Dr. Madarcos, kila Dr. Ligo. Kasi promise, lahat ng mga sinasabi nila lumalabas sa board exams. So step 1, cholesterol, papasok siya sa inner mitochondrial membrane by star, steroidogenic acute regulatory protein. Ito yung para lang di niya makalimutan. Si star, steroidogenic acute regulatory protein, kahit siya yung star, siya yung tagahatid. Diba? Hindi niya makakalimutan. Dahil binanggit ko si star, tas tagahatid siya na rin yung rate limiting step sa sex hormone synthesis. Okay? And also in the presence of NADPH and oxygen, and syempre sa adrenals meron kayong ACTH and testis, yung cholesterol mako-convert into pregnenolone by the P450 side chain cleavage enzyme. Dito nyo, wait lang, para maka-follow tayo, ang ginagawa ni side chain cleavage enzyme, nakikita niyo ba yung drawings ko? Nakikita ha? Kinakat niya rito, pakak. Kaya nagiging 2 carbons na lang yan. Dok, saan ulit kinakat? Between carbons 20 and 22. Take note between carbon 20, 22. Ulitin natin. First step. Yan. Ang anong kailangan nyo malaman sa first step? Rate limiting step. Star, steroidogenic acute regulatory protein. Ginagawa niya, cholesterol, cytosol hanggang inner mitochondrial membrane. In the presence of NADPH. Ulit, rate limiting step, star. Si cholesterol, naging pregnenolone dahil kay side chain cleavage enzyme. Saan kinakat ni side chain cleavage enzyme? Between carbons 20 and 22. Kaya naging 2 carbon na lang siya. Okay? May tanong sa first step, wala. Ano bang kailangan ko malaman dyan, Dok? Ang dami mong sinabi. Rate limiting step, si star. Ayun lang yan. Tapos, si cholesterol magiging pregnenolone. For the next step, meron tayong 2 pathways. Ito yung kanina, meron tayong 2 pathways. Ito yung first step. Tapos ito ang unang pathway. Dito kayo maglalagay ng division. We have the progesterone pathway. This is the first pathway. And we have the DHEA pathway, which is the more active pathway. This is the second pathway. So unahin natin, we'll first tackle the progesterone pathway. Ito muna. Yung nasa kanan muna. Ganito pa kayo. Ganito pa kayo sa ngayon. Mga nahihilo na. Buong araw na nagbabayok. Laban lang. Okay? First pathway. Yan. Dok, ang haba. Anong kailangan kong malaman dyan? Of course, mula sa inner mitochondrial membrane, lalabas ulit siya sa cytosol, then into the endoplasmic reticulum. Ito lang gusto kong malaman dyan, si endoplasmic reticulum. Pregnenolone will be converted into progesterone by the delta 5,4 isomerase and 3-beta hydroxy dehydrogenase. Dok, anong kailangan ko malaman dyan? It is not pH dependent. And yung hydroxyl group, carbon 3, naging keto group, carbon 3. And because of the delta 5,4 isomerase, yung double bond between 5 and 6, pupunta na sa carbons 5 and 4. Ulit. Sabihin niyo lang kung mabilis ako, no? Pregnenolone to progesterone because of the 3-beta hydroxy dehydrogenase. Hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. The hydroxyl group will be turned into a keto group because of the 3-beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. The hydroxyl group will become a keto group because of the isomerase. The double bond between the carbons 5 and 6 will be transferred to the carbons 5 and 4. Ayun lang. That's next step, via 17-alpha hydroxylase, the progesterone will be turned into 17-alpha hydroxy progesterone. Take note of the carbon 16. Hydroxylase. Hydroxylase, nagkaroon ka ulit ng hydroxyl group sa carbon 17. Hydroxylase, nagkaroon kayo ng hydroxyl group sa carbon 17. Ayun lang yun. Don't overthink it. Tapos, magiging androstenedione via 1720 lyase, then testosterone estradiol. Baburahin ko lang to ha. Sige. Type in the chat box. Sa dalawang pathway, alin yung more active pathway? Ito yung division natin. Pakak. Is it the DHEA pathway or the progesterone pathway? Very good. The DHEA pathway is the more active pathway. The double ring of between carbons 5 and 6 and pregnenolone is transferred between carbons 5 and 4 in the A ring on progesterone is because of what enzyme? Yung double ring between 5 and 6, naging 5 and 4 sa ring A. Ito. Because of what enzyme? Very good. The delta 5 isomerase. Bakit? Kasi ulitin natin, yung hydroxyl group, magiging keto group dahil kay 3-beta-hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase. Siguro shortcut na lang. Basta may yung enzyme may pangalan na hydroxy. It's either you add or you subtract a hydroxyl group. Okay? Sige, next step. The DHEA pathway, the more active pathway. Yan. Sa DHEA pathway, from pregnenolone, maging 17 alpha hydroxy pregnenolone because of 17 hydroxylase. Tapos magiging 1720 lyase due to magiging DHEA due to 1720 lyase and androstenedione. Later we'll discuss the fates of androstenedione. Estrone, testosterone, and 17-beta estradiol. Ayun lang yun. May clear lang. Sa ngayon, ayun muna kailangan yung malaman sa DHEA pathway. So kung kanina, nalilito na kayo dito. Ngayon, yan. Mga matatalinong itlog na kayo. For cholesterol to be turned into sex hormones, you need 5 enzymes. What are the 5 enzymes required? The 5-isomerase. Nakastar naman na. 5-isomerase, 3-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, 17 lyase, and 17-beta-hydroxy, tas saan ba isa? Ayan, 17-alpha-hydroxylase. Isa pa nga. Ito yung mga tanong ko ha. Listen well. What is the rate limiting step ng conversion of cholesterol papuntang sex hormones? Star. Sige. Very good. What is the more active pathway? The DHEA pathway or the progesterone pathway? DHEA pathway. Okay, very good. Ang galing. Si cholesterol, ilan yung rings? Four rings. Okay, very good. Yung side chain, ilan carbons? Binilang na nila. Ilang carbon side chain ng cholesterol? 8. Huwag na kayong mag-overthink. 8. Tsaka huwag na kayong Hindi, sige. Huwag na kayong mag-overthink. 8 yan. Very good. Sige. Yung rate limiting step, saan nag-o-occur? From what to what? Kaya na, tutuklawin na kayo. Okay, very good. Sige. Meron pa ba akong nakalimutan tanongin dito? Hydroxyl group of the carbon tree of pregnenolone will be turned into a keto group because of what enzyme? Kompletuhin nyo. Okay, very good. Progesterone will have an hydroxyl group at carbon 17 because of what enzyme? Okay, very good. Sige, last question. Yung double bond ng 5-6 carbon ring napunta sa 5-4 because of what enzyme? Again, yung double ring ay yung double line. At the B ring is turned into the A ring between carbons 5 and 4 because of what enzyme? Okay, ayun pa rin. Delta 5 for isomerase. Side chain cleavage enzyme, also known as desmolase. Saan between what carbons is it gonna cleave? Sa side chain ng cholesterol. Between what two carbons? Grabe. Grabe. Gagaling naman ang mga batang ito. Sige, okay na kayo. Nagigets nyo na to, ha? Mukha lang at first, syempre, overwhelming. Pero ayun na nga, when faced with hard tables, hard pathways, take it step by step. Una, nag-focus tayo sa first step. Tapos alam natin merong dalawang pathway. Yung first pathway, then the second pathway. Since may dalawa tayong pathway, differentiate nyo. Alin yung more active, alin yung hindi. Okay. Very good. So sa male sex hormones, nagpo-produce ka rin sa ovaries by the anterior pituitary. Different cell types ng ovaries contain different amount of enzymes. Take note of the wordplay. Corpus luteum forms mainly progesterone and cell 17 hydroxyprogesterone. Sabi ko mainly, not only. Kasi pwede rin siya mag-produce ng iba. Pero mainly, yung dalawa. Theca cells and stroma cells, androstenedione testosterone, and yung granulosa cells dahil rich siya sa aromatase. Guys, buzzwords. Granulosa cells, rich in aromatase. Lumalabas yan sa anatomy. Anatomy and biochem. Granulosa cells rich in aromatase. Nagko-convert siya ng testosterone and androstenedione to 17-beta estradiol and estrone respectively. Ito yan, Doc, may panibago ka na namang graph. Kailangan ko ba itong kapisuduin? Well, if you look at it closely, cholesterol to pregnenolone, hatiin natin sa dalawa, ayun pa rin yan. The DHEA pathway and the progesterone pathway. Just for you to easily visualize, saan si theca, saan si granulosa, saan si corpus luteum. Ito rin nga, no? Oh. Ito. Theca, granulosa, and the corpus luteum. Paano kayo naralin, Dok? This is enough. Yan, this is enough. Now, tapos na tayo sa ovarian synthesis. Now we go to the adrenocortical synthesis. Dok, nag-ano ka na naman? Nag-star ka na naman yan. Anong star yan? Well, kung titignan niyo na mabuti, huwag kayo ma-overwhelm. Ano to? Pathway 1, pathway 2. The progesterone pathway and the DHEA pathway. Ulit-ulit lang tayo and still, meron tayong other forms. Huwag kayo mag-high cortisol dito. Relax lang. Gusto ko lang ma-visualize nyo sa adrenal cortical synthesis. yung lecture nyo kanina, nagpo-produce din na aldosterone, cortisone, pero hindi tayo dito hindi tayo dito magfo-focus. More on sa pag-produce ng sex hormones. Nandito tayo. Ayun lang yun, wala nang iba. Saan ba? Yan. Sa adrenal glands, the main pathway na ginagamit natin is the DHEA pathway. Ayun na nga yung more active pathway. Again, sa DHEA pathway, pregnenolone to 17-alpha-hydroxypregnenolone, DHEA, which is a weak androgen, pero siya yung major na pinoproduce ng adrenal glands. Then, by 3-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, magiging androstenedione. Ito yung fate ni androstenedione. Wait lang, tatanggalin ko lang ito. Yan. Dok, panibagong ano na naman yan? Hindi, ayun pa rin yan. From pregnenolone to progesterone, pathway 1 and pathway 2. Pathway 1, pathway 2. More active pathway. Ito yung dinidiscuss natin kanina. Tas, deadline niya lang muna yung nastas. Ito lang gusto kong malaman nyo. Yan. Again, from pregnenolone, maging 17-alpha-hydroxy pregnenolone because of the hydroxy lays 17, 17. Hindi niya na makakalimutan yan. Then magiging dehydroepiandrosterone because of the 17-20 lase. Kung titignan niyo, because of the 17-hydroxypregnenolone, yung hydroxyl group dito na wala, naging keto group. Then it will be, the dehydroepiandrosterone will be converted into androstenedione. Look at the the hydroxyl group, hydroxy, naging keto group. Tapos, again, yung sinasabi natin kanina, yung double bond between 5 and 6 napunta na dito sa 5 and 4 because of the isomerase, delta 5-4 isomerase. Now, the DHEA may also be in turn to androstenedione by 17-beta-hydroxy dehydrogenase. The keto group here at carbon 17 naging hydroxyl group because of a hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase. Paulit-ulit lang tayo dito, pero ganun talaga. Androstenedione will be turned into testosterone by 17-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. Yung keto group, interplay lang yan eh. Yung minsan titignan nyo lang, alin yung keto group ba yung nawawala, alin yung naging hydroxyl group. Yan lang usually pinagkaiba nila. Nagiging hydroxyl group. Pero ito, buzzword, androstenedione may be turned into estrone because of aromatase. Ano bang kailangan niyang malaman sa estrone? From androstenedione, yung keto group, naging hydroxyl group. Tapos yung double bond dito, naging aromatic ring. Ano ba yung aromatic ring? Aromatic ring, it is a ring na merong alternate between double bonds and single bonds. Methyl group na wala. Ano bang kailangan nilang malaman? Ang estrone or estrogen, meron kang aromatic ring. Lalabas yan sa pharma. Aromatic ring. Ha? Because of aromatase. Aromatic ring. Sa A. Ayun lang yun. Then estrone, papansinin nyo, meron pa rin siyang estrone, aromatic ring. Pero yung keto group, naging hydroxyl group. Ayun lang yun. So ano pinagkaiba ni testosterone kay estrogen? Ano pinagkaiba ni testosterone kay estrogen? Si testosterone, meron siyang keto group sa carbon 3. While si estrogen or estradiol or estrone, meron siyang hydroxyl group. Carbon A, ring A of testosterone, meron kang double bond between carbons 5 and 4. Si estrone, merong aromatic ring. Do not forget it. The aromatic ring. Malay nyo, tanongin ko, malay nyo, hindi. So testosterone, kanina sinabi natin saang cells nga ulit yon, nagko-convert ng testosterone. Ano yung rich ng aromatase? Sa ovarian. Anong rich? Isang cells rich ng aromatase? Theca, corpus luteum, or granulosa cells? Theca cells, corpus luteum, and granulosa cells. Okay, granulosa. Since si granulosa maraming aromatase, yung testosterone pwede niya ma-convert into estradiol. Ito huwag niyong kakalimutan kung nasaan si aromatase. From androstenedione to estrone, kailangan mo ng aromatase. From testosterone to estradiol, kailangan mo ng aromatase. Okay? Kaya lang itatanongin dyan. Usually. Next. Oras na ba? We have. Sige. This graph shows you the testosterone secretion by age. At birth, meron kang konti lang pulsatile secretions ng testosterone hanggang week 10. Then magpipik yan at around puberty. Tataas yan around puberty, tapos magpipik at around ages 16 to 20. Unti-unti siyang bababa until age 20. Age 20, yung initial from peak, magiging 20 to 50% na lang. Again, lalabas yan. Maglalabas kayo at birth ng testosterone habang nasa loob pa lang kayo. Tapos, unti-unti, wala yan. Lalaki ulit yan kapag puberty na. Puberty, tapos magpipik after ilang years, tapos bababa lang ng unti-unti. Okay? Ito wala. Wala, Dok. 100 slides ka pala. Sorry na. So ngayon, let's dive deeper into the transport and metabolism. This is the first major pathway, the more active pathway. Kung makikita nyo lang dito, this is just a recap. Testosterone is produced 95% mainly sa main site, sa testis. Then 5% sa adrenal gland, sa aming mga lalaki. Testosterone will be oxidized to form 5-alpha androsterone and 5-beta androsterone. Then through glucuronidation and sulfation, mag-excrete din sa kidneys. Water-soluble and sa bile excretion din. Ang testosterone, pwede kang biologically active, free. Hindi siya nakabound sa albumin. Pero 97 to 99.5% nakabound sa albumin. Ano yung testosterone? Relative binding sa sex hormone binding globulin. Ano yung pinakamataas yung affinity? The dihydrotestosterone. Mamaya di-discuss natin yan. The second major pathway is the conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone via 5-alpha reductase. Please, huwag kayong malilito, buzzword to, parati itong lumalabas. Testosterone to the active form dihydrotestosterone is via 5-alpha reductase. Not pH dependent siya, pero mas kailangan malaman is it is only converted through 5-alpha reductase. Hindi aromatase ha. Nalilito yung iba. Saan ulit si aromatase? From testosterone to saan? Type in the chat box. Binubura ko. Element pala to. Ano? Saan? Pwedeng estrone, hindi. Androstenedione to estrone yan. Ayun, estradiol. Okay, testosterone to estradiol. Pero tama din si estrone. No? Yung kanina, males lang po ba yan? Hindi. Mostly sa females din. Pero kasi konti nga lang yung inaano nating testosterone sa babae. Mamaya magde-dive deeper tayo sa female sex hormones. Mag-focus muna tayo sa males. Siyempre 95% is sa testosterone. Ay sa testis nang gagaling. Paano sa females nang gagaling? Hindi sa ovaries. Kanina. Ito again, testosterone converted to dihydrotestosterone via 5-alpha reductase. Ito yung sinasabi ko. Si testosterone, kanina sinabi ko, testosterone to estradiol via aromatics. Estradiol via aromatics. Testosterone to dihydrotestosterone via 5-alpha reductase. Bakit ito importante? Kasi meron tayong mga gamot, lalo na sa pharmacology, nag-i-inhibit ng mga to. Okay? It is a pro-hormone to, ayun na nga, DHT or 17 beta estradiol. Kasi dihydrotestosterone, more potent talaga siya. Ano mangyayari? Dok, ano mangyayari kung wala tayong 5-alpha reductase o konti lang yung 5-alpha reductase natin? Ito, panoorin nyo.
Rare genetic disorder turns girls into boys in Dominican Republic village. A BBC series has documented a phenomenon in an isolated village in the Dominican Republic where children who are seemingly female grow up to become men once they've hit puberty. In the village of Salinas in the Dominican Republic, 1 in 90 girls become boys in their teenage years. The cause is a missing enzyme that stems from a genetic disorder that starts in the womb. Usually, when male fetuses have developed 2 months in the womb, the 5-alpha reductase enzyme converts testosterone hormones into DHT to form the male sex organs. But for boys missing this enzyme, their sex organs do not fully form, and they appear to have female genitalia when born. Only during puberty do the male features fully develop. The new organs, though undersized, usually function normally, and individuals tend to live out their lives as men. The condition is so common in the Dominican Republic that local residents accept 3 sexual categories: males, females, and pseudo-hermaphrodites. Children with this condition are known locally as gevedoses or machihembras, which means first a woman, then a man.
See a story that really should be animated? Suggest
Ayan. Pwede, you can read at your own time, penis at 12 syndrome. Bakit penis at 12? Kasi nga dahil sa puberty, lumalabas na dyan at 12 years old. No? Sige. Kung tinanong ha, penis at 12 syndrome, 5-alpha reductase. Anong importante from testosterone again to estradiol via ano? Ano ulit ito? Anong enzyme ulit ito? Sorry. Nakalimutan ko. Ano nga ulit ito? Testosterone to estradiol, anong enzyme? Aromatics. Aromatic, naging automatic. Testosterone to dihydrotestosterone via what enzyme? Guys, tutuklawin na yan. Ay, class, tutuklawin na kayo. Ayan, tama. 5-alpha reductase. Ayun lang kailangan nyo malaman sa ngayon. Will not dive in super deep. Kailangan, I just want you to know the basics, the foundation of sex hormones. Magtutuos pa kayo na ito next year sa pathology. Now, conversion again of testosterone to estradiol via aromatics. The single, the double bond at ring A naging aromatic ring. From a keto group, naging hydroxyl group. Aromatase present sa adipose cells, liver, skins, and many tissues. Kaya kung mataas yung activity nun, pwede tayo magkaroon ng estrogenization. Lalo na kung meron kang liver cirrhosis, hyperthyroidism, aging obesity. Thus, testosterone via 5-alpha reductase may be converted into dihydrotestosterone, then may be converted to androstenediol via aromatase. Sa placenta, you can synthesize estriol via 16-alpha hydroxylase. Just to summarize again, conjugated with the liver to form androstenediol, then excreted sa urine. Testosterone to dihydrotestosterone may be inactivated or may be converted to androstenediol, then excreted in the urine and in the bile. Testosterone via aromatase may be converted to estradiol, then inactive metabolites in urine. Androstenediol, the DHEA pathway via 5'-isomerase and 3-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase converted to androstenediol, then excreted in the urine and bile soluble in the bile. Siyempre, class 1 superfamily, magpe-penetrate si steroid hormones, si steroids. Papasok sex hormones, magbabind sa inactive receptor, you'll form the receptor complex, then papasok sa nucleus where the transcription will occur. What is the main functions of the metabolic and physiologic effects of the male sex hormones? Of course, to support spermatogenesis, regulate the gonadotropin secretion, and the general anabolic growth and promoting effects. Lalaki muscle mo, bilis yung heart rate mo, tataas yung metabolic rate mo, titigas buto mo lalo, tataas yung RBC. Induction of sexual maturation, of course. And more hair sa face, sa chest, sa pubic areas. Yung pagka-bald ng lalaki, pwede rin, may factor yan, pero mostly genetics din. Increased skin thickness, sebaceous glands on the face, behavioral, they tend to be more aggressive. And of course, the formation of the male phenotype and the descent of the testes. This is again a summary. The testosterone may be bind to albumin or free, then mostly excreted. Others turn to dihydrotestosterone via 5-alpha reductase or estradiol via aromatase. And listed at the bottom, their effects. Doc, ang ano yan? Actually, I know you are all familiar with this graph. Tinuro na to sa physiology, sa anatomy. Gusto ko lang malaman nyo. In the anterior pituitary gland, meron tayong LH, 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 Leydig. Leydig cells. Leydig, that's testosterone. Okay? FSH, 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 Sertoli cells. Saan si Sertoli? Saan din mag-affect? Sa seminiferous tubules. Again, Leydig, Leydig, Leydig cells. Ay, LH, LH, Leydig cells. FSH, 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 seminiferous tubules, Sertoli cells. Okay? Si LH increases the testosterone at kapag mataas na si testosterone, magsisignal na siya kay GnRH. Tama na, marami na. Dahil nag-signal na siya, bababa na sabi niya sa FSH at LH, tama na, marami na yung testosterone. Kaya pwedeng mag-regulate inhibition. Si FSH, mag-aana sa seminiferous tubules, sa Sertoli cells, magpo-produce ng ABG, binding globulins, magbabind siya sa testosterone, tapos magpo-form ng sperm. Helpful siya sa spermatogenesis. Kapag mataas si FSH, usually nagde-direct inhibition na siya kay anterior pituitary gland. Okay? Yan. Sige nga, aromatization of androstenedione will deal which of the following? For the exam question, A. Estradiol, B. Estrone, C. Testosterone, or D. Progesterone. Sige, kaya niya yan. Walang maling sagot. Mali lang pag di niya sinubukan. Walang judgment. Kaya niya yan. Sige, try lang. Di ko sasabihin niya sagot pero ito muna. Para lang may matulungan. Androstenedione. Ay, sorry. Androstenedione converted to what? Via Aromatase. Aromatase. Androstenedione converted to what via aromatase? Kasi kanina meron tayong testosterone converted to blank via aromatase. Ito androstenedione converted to what via aromatase? Sabi ko sa inyo, yun lang yung kailangan nyo tandaan, si 5-alpha reductase, which enzyme is affected by aromatase. Sige, 5 more answers bago ko sabihin yung sagot. Ang tamang sagot ay estrone. Bakit? Ba't hindi si estradiol? Kasi remember, testosterone converted to estradiol via aromatase. Ayan, estradiol. Androstenedione converted to estrone via aromatase. Okay? Ba't hindi estradiol? Kasi kailangan aromatization of testosterone para maging estradiol. Ito, aromatization of androstenedione para maging estriol. Clear? Paano ba ito tinatanong, Doc? Ayun pala. Androstenedione to testosterone via aromatase. Testosterone converted to estradiol via aromatase. Ayan. Ito ang importance ng dinidiscuss natin. Among the medications listed which inhibits the enzyme aromatase. Ayan, ina-apply na natin pharmacology. Kung nasagot nyo, ang galing nyo. Pero next year pa yan. So, ang sagot ay letrozole. Kasi siya ay aromatase inhibitor. Okay? Female sex hormones. Again nga, sige nga, teka lang. What is the rate limiting step in the sex hormone synthesis? Star. Okay. What is the more active pathway? The progesterone or the DHEA pathway? DHEA pathway. Side chain cleavage enzyme cleaves cholesterol at what between what two carbons? 2022. Yung double bond at carbon B napunta sa carbon A between 5 and 4 by what enzyme? Oh, basta alam niyo isomerase. Very good. Delta 5-4 isomerase. Okay. Sige. Ano pa ba? What is the more active form of the male sex hormone? Most active form? DHT. What is the most significant? Testosterone. Main site of sex hormone synthesis among males. Sir Tolly, okay. What part of the testis is being stimulated by the luteinizing hormone? LH. LLLH. What cells? Leydig cells. How about the FSH? FSSS what? Sertoli cells. Okay, very good. LH and FSH is part of the anterior or posterior pituitary gland. Anatomy na yan, Doc. Okay, very good. Anterior. Ano pa ba? Aromatization of testosterone will lead to what enzyme? Okay, huwag kayong malilito. Estradiol. Aromatization of androstenedione will lead to what enzyme? Ayan, para hindi kayo malito, androstenedione and estrone, parehas silang merong ONE, own. Diba? They both end in own. Kaya androstenedione, aromatase, estrone. How about testosterone to dihydrotestosterone? It's converted by what enzyme? Grabe, nag-advance reading ba kayo? Nasasagot niyo lahat, ah. Okay, very good. 5-alpha reductase. Very good. We now move on to female sex hormones. Types of female sex hormones, we have the estrogens and the progestins. You have your estrone, estradiol, estriol, or the estrogens. We will discuss it in a few slides. And the progesterone and progestins. Sites of synthesis, ayan, parehas lang. Synthesis of female sex hormones. Baka magulat kayo, parehas lang din. Ito pa rin to. Walang pinagkaiba. Ito pa rin kasi, ayun o, LH, pwede sa testes, pwede sa ovaries. Pangalawa lang si adrenals. It's either testes or ovaries, then second is adrenals. Ayan. So ovarian synthesis again, the theca cells, the granulosa cells, and the corpus luteum. Alin ulit dito yung rich in aromatase? Sa tatlo? Okay, the granulosa cells. Forms mainly the progesterone. Alin sa tatlo? Theca cells, corpus luteum, or the granulosa cells? Which cell forms mainly the progesterone? Okay, very good. The corpus luteum. Very good. Ayun yan. Corpus luteum, the progesterone, then 17-hydroxyprogesterone, theca cells, the androstenedione, and testosterone. Kung titignan nyo to, again, the granulosa cells is rich in aromatase. Because of it is rich in aromatase, the androstenedione may be converted to ONE, aromatase. Testosterone converted to estradiol via aromatase. Meron din palang ONE si testosterone. Basta androstenedione yan. So, ito pa rin, sa adrenal gland, same with the male sex hormones from pregnenolone to 17-hydroxypregnenolone, then the DHEA pathway, then converted to it's either androstenediol or androstenedione. The androstenedione via aromatase again to estrone, then 17-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase to testosterone. The estrone, kanina may nabanggit tayo estriol. Estrone may be converted to estriol via 16-alpha hydroxylase. Okay. Now we move on to the menstrual cycle. It is a recurring cycle in the endometrium. May layer ng shed, average duration 2 to 7 days. Average cycle is a 28-day cycle. Average estimated blood loss is 10 to 80 ml per duration. Doc, 10 to 80 ml per duration. Ano ibig sabihin nun, Doc? Per ano na yun? Sa 5 days, 10 to 80 ml yung nalulus. So, hindi yan per day. Sa menstruation, we have 3 phases, the follicular or the proliferative, the ovulation, and the luteal phase. Hindi yung it's either meron ka o wala. No, it is converted into 3, follicular, ovulation, and the luteal phase. So follicular, usually it is day 1 to 13 kung regular ka. It starts with the first day of menses. Ang nangyayari dito, wait lang. Sa umpisa, mababa lang si estrogen and progesterone because kakatapos mo lang ng mens. Unti-unti, dahil mababa, magtataas si FSH. Kapag tumaas si FSH, sasabayan nito na pag-grow ng follicles. Habang nag-grow si follicles, pataas si estradiol. Okay? Kapag tumaas si estradiol, mababa naman si FSH. Kaya isa lang yung nade-develop nyo, dominant follicle. Ulitin ko ha. Sa umpisa, at the beginning, you have minimal progesterone and estrogen. Because there is minimal progesterone estrogen, FSH will slightly increase. When FSH increases, you stimulate several ovarian follicles. These follicles synthesize one by one, paunti-unti, estradiol. Kapag tumaas si estradiol, inhibition, mababa si FSH. Dok, ano kailangan ko malaman? Ito lang. You develop one dominant follicle, kahit marami yung na-synthesize. Tapos, by average day 1 to 13. Dok, paano kung irregular ako? Mamaya, discuss natin yun. Yan. It marks the first peak of estrogen. Tapos if you're gonna look at the lining at the bottom, unti-unti nagsastart ng pumapal and reach in blood vessels to promote a good environment for the fetus, for the baby, if ever, para maka-implant kayo. Ang next phase, si ovulation phase. Anong nangyayari dito, Dok? Positive feedback. Estrogen, mataas, positive feedback pa rin kahit ano. Mag-LH surge ka. Dok, di ba kapag mataas si estrogen, dapat bumaba si FSH? Di ba dapat bumaba si LH? Well, para mag-ovulate ka, meron kasi tayong tinitrigger na certain nucleus saan? Sa AVPV yung pangalan, no? Para mag-promote tayo ng ovulation. Hindi, basta ang kailangan nyo lang malaman dito, LH surge. Tataas talaga si luteinizing hormone. Si FSH konti lang. Ayun lang kailangan nyo malaman. Tapos, tataas na unti-unti si progesterone. Kapag tumaas si progesterone, minsan, the female, tumataas yung core body temperature niya, usually 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius lang naman. Kaya minsan, kapag ovulating si female, ramdam nila, umiinit sila kahit konti. Pero konti lang naman. Hindi naman super lagnat na. Anong ginagawa ni LH? Since tumaas si LH weakens the walls. Ito, wini-weaken niya yung wall ng ovaries, nare-release si eggs. Ito yung sinasabi natin ovulating siya. Fertile siya. So, kung gusto mong malaman kailan ka fertile, meron tayong, ito. Meron kang mga pwedeng mabili sa Watsons. Wow, endorser na ako ng Watsons. Ovulation test kits. Dito, makikita nyo si LH. Kung mataas si LH sa urine, usually fertile siya. Kasi ito na nga, fertile. LH peak. Nag-release ng eggs. Kung mataas si LH sa urine, most likely may naka-release na eggs dyan. Pwede. Hindi to hindi to pregnancy test. Mamaya yun. Tapos ang luteal phase constant at around 14 days. Dok, sinabi mo kanina si proliferative phase 14 days. Si luteal phase 14 days. 28 days. Dok, paano kung kung ereg ako? Usually si luteal phase constant yan. Mag-change lang yan. Mag-change lang yung proliferative phase kung gaano kahaba yung unang phase nyo. Ayun yung sa next year, madidiscuss niya sa clinicals. So, kung mahaba yung pagitan between menses, ibig sabihin mahaba si follicular phase at si proliferative phase, hindi si luteal phase. Ito lang kailangan niya malaman. The ruptured follicle forms the corpus luteum. Tapos dahil nag-form ng corpus luteum, mag-increase si progesterone and estrogen. Listed here are the effects of the progesterone. Sige, we have time. Ano mangyayari kapag hindi na-fertilize si egg? If the egg is not fertilized, then the corpus luteum will be degenerated. Unti-unting bababa. Since unting-unting bumababa, bababa rin si estrogen and progesterone kung hindi na fertilized, no? Tapos magshe-shed na rin yung lining. Magshe-shed yung lining. Wait lang. Okay. But if the egg is fertilized, then the embryo begins to form the human chorionic gonadotropin. Ito yung nakikita na sa pregnancy test. Ayan. Just to summarize, sa umpisa, mababa, kakagaling mo lang sa mens, mababa si estrogen, tapos pati si progesterone. Since mababa, tumataas si FSH. Habang tumataas si FSH, you're stimulating several follicles until you reach a single dominant follicle. Taas si estrogen, since mataas si estradiol, gumawa ka ng dominant follicle kaya tumaas si estradiol. Since tumaas si estradiol, feedback inhibition, bumaba si FSH. Hanggang to the point na sobrang taas na ni estrogen, magkukos na to ng FSH and LH, weaken the walls of the ovaries, causing ovulation. Kapag ikaw nag-ovulate, magpo-form ka na ng corpus luteum sa luteal phase. Corpus luteum, kapag naging fertilized, pwede kang ng HCG. Kapag hindi na fertilized, magde-degenerate siya, tapos mag-shed ka ulit ng lining. Ayun yung menstrual cycle. Ulitin nyo to sa OB. Again, type in the chat box. First question, the egg may or may not be fertilized. Anong phase siya? Is it the proliferative, follicular, ovulatory, or luteal phase? A, B, or C? Saang phase sa menstrual cycle yung pwede o pwedeng hindi ma-fertilize si egg? Ulitin natin. Sige. Meron tayong 3 phases. Proliferative. Ito yung proliferative. Ito yung ovulatory. Ito yung luteal. Proliferative, 1. Ovulatory, 2. Luteal, 3. Sa proliferative, unti-unting nagde-develop ng follicle. Nagde-develop ka pa lang ng egg. Tapos ito yung interplay ng hormones. Sa ovulatory, nag-release ka na ng eggs. Yung dinevelop mong eggs, na-release mo na. Yun yung ovulation. Meron ka ng eggs. Since may egg ka na, pupunta ka na sa luteal phase. Sa luteal phase, ulitin ko, pwede siyang ma-degenerate kapag hindi na-fertilize or ma-fertilize. Tapos ma-detect mo na yung HCG sa urine. Sa PT test, pregnancy test. Okay? Isa pa. Try natin. Medyo mahirap talaga to eh. Isa pa, egg may or may not be fertilized. Okay, very good, Sina. Okay, sige. Nagde-develop, develop hindi release, one dominant follicle. The phase where you develop one dominant follicle. Okay, very good. The proliferative or the follicular. LH is detected in the urine. LH, the luteinizing hormone, is detected in the urine. Oy, very good. Huwag kayo malilito ha. HCG ay yung pregnancy test. But when it comes to LH, it is the ovulation test. Constant at around 14 days. Constant. Siya yung constant. Anong phase dito yung constant? Okay, very good. Naalala niyo? The luteal phase. Where you will use the pregnancy test. Very good. The luteal phase. Para alam mo kung pregnant or hindi. Where you will use the LH tricks. Very good. The ovulatory phase. And yung duration niya nagva-vary. So kung irregular ka, ito yung mahabang phase. Galing. Ayos. Buti natututo kayo sa akin. Very good. Good job. Next. Galing. Ganyan. Just to summarize the menstrual cycle.
This might seem hard to believe, but right now, 300 million women across the planet are experiencing the same thing, a period. The monthly menstrual cycle that leads to the period is a reality most women on Earth will go through in their lives. But why is this cycle so universal? And what makes it a cycle in the first place? Periods last anywhere between 2 and 7 days, arising once within a 28-day rotation. That whole system occurs on repeat, happening approximately 450 times during a woman's life. Behind the scenes are a series of hormonal controls that fine-tune the body's internal workings to make menstruation start or stop during those 28 days. This inner machinery includes 2 ovaries stocked with thousands of tiny sacs called follicles that each contain 1 oocyte, an unfertilized egg cell. At puberty, ovaries hold over 400,000 egg cells, but release only 1 each month, which results in pregnancy or a period. Here's how the cycle unfolds. Each month, beginning around puberty, the hormone-producing pituitary gland in the brain starts releasing 2 substances into the blood: follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. When they reach the ovaries, they encourage the internal egg cells to grow and mature. The follicles respond by pumping out estrogen. The egg cells grow and estrogen levels peak, inhibiting the production of FSH and telling the pituitary to pump out more LH. That causes only the most mature egg cell from one of the ovaries to burst out of the follicle and through the ovary wall. This is called ovulation, and it usually happens 10 to 16 days before the start of a period. The tiny oocyte moves along the fallopian tube. A pregnancy can only occur if the egg is fertilized by a sperm cell within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, the egg's escapade ends and the window for pregnancy closes for that month. Meanwhile, the now empty follicle begins to release progesterone, another hormone that tells the womb's lining to plump up with blood and nutrients in preparation for a fertilized egg that may embed there and grow. If it doesn't embed, a few days later the body's progesterone and estrogen levels plummet, meaning the womb stops padding out and starts to degenerate, eventually falling away. Blood and tissue leave the body, forming the period. The womb can take up to a week to clear out its unused contents, after which the cycle begins anew. Soon afterwards, the ovaries begin to secrete estrogen again, and the womb lining thickens, getting ready to accommodate a fertilized egg or be shed. Hormones continually control these activities by circulating in ideal amounts, delivered at just the right time. The cycle keeps on turning, transforming each day and each week into a milestone along its course towards pregnancy or a period. Although this cycle appears to move by clockwork, there's room for variation. Women and their bodies are unique after all. Menstrual cycles occur at different times in the month, ovulation comes at various points in the cycle, and some periods last longer than others. Menstruation even begins and ends at different times in life for different women, too. In other words, variations between periods are normal. Appreciating these differences and learning about this monthly process can empower women, giving them the tools to understand and take charge of their own bodies. That way, they're able to factor this small cycle into a much larger cycle of life.
Okay. So here are the effects of the female sex hormones when it comes to reproductive, of course, the development of the secondary female sexual characteristics, menstruation, pregnancy. They may antagonize the parathyroid hormone and promote blood coagulation, maturing of the primordial germ cells, implantation, hormonal timing, ovulation, yung kanina, maintenance of pregnancies and parturition and lactation, yung hormonal influences. They can increase the viscosity of the cervical mucus, inhibit the uterine contraction, glandular development of the breast, and increase in body temperature. Lalo kay progesterone. Estrone mostly arises from extraglandular conversion of androstenedione in the peripheral tissues, major source of estrogen in menopausal women. Progesterone, principal hormone secreted by the corpus luteum, yung diniscuss natin kanina, and changes in the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle. Kasi again, remember, granulosa cells rich in aromatase, corpus luteum, progesterone. Estriol, the prevalent hormone during pregnancy, major estrogen produced by the normal human fetus, and arise from 16-hydroxylation of estrone and estradiol. And estradiol, ito yung katumbas si dihydrotestosterone, siya yung most potent estrogen. Hello? Nakikita niya ba ako? Wala?
Hindi, Dok.
Ba't wala ako?
Kita po.
Yan. Kita niya ba? Ayan. Siya yung katumbas ni dihydrotestosterone, si estradiol. Siya yung most potent estrogen and responsible for secondary female characteristics, sexual characteristics. Meron tayong mnemonic dito eh. Alam niyo ba yung mnemonic na kapag estradiol, ito yung major source of estrogen nyo kung dalawa kayo ng partner mo. Ayun yung age nyo kapag ovulating phase. Kapag buntis ka na, estradiol. Kasi tatlo na kayo. Ikaw, yung partner mo, pati si baby. Kapag menopause na, matanda ka na, sorry. Kapag medyo may edad ka na, mag-isa ka na lang sa buhay, lumayas na yung anak mo, estrone na. 1, estrone. Estradiol, dalawa pa lang kayo. Diol, dalawa pa lang kayo. Estriol, tatlo na kayo. Ikaw, yung partner mo, buntis ka, may baby. Estrone, menopausal, mag-isa ka na. Medyo malungkot, pero yun yung tinuro sa amin ni Monique sa rotation namin sa OB. Nung clerk pa lang ako. Here are some nice to know hormones. Nice to know, pero nagtatanong sila lalo na kay inhibin, activin, oxytocin, HCG, and relaxin. Saan ito tinatanong, Doc, sa biochem? This may be asked sa biochem, but mainly sa OB-GYN subject. So which of the following associations is true? FSH acts on the TICA cells, inhibits the LH over the FSH, activin simulates the FSH, and granulosa cell produce the androgens. Ano tingin niyo sagot? Dok, ang hirap. Nasaan yung sagot dyan? Nasa sinabi kong nice to know. Which of the following is true? Very good. Activin stimulates the FSH. Kasi remember, ayan, activin and inhibin, tandaan nyo lang dito, they either inhibit or increase the action or release of the FSH, hindi LH. FSH. Inhibin, activin affect the FSH, not LH. Oxytocin stimulates milk letdown. Naturo na ni Dr. Matarcos. Androgen, sexual desire. HCG, nagsisynthesize ng progesterone. Relaxin, relax ka lang. Relaxes the pubic ligament, soften, and promotes angiogenesis. Follistatin, Nanggagatong lang to. They attenuate the action of the inhibin. Best friend niya si inhibin. Prolactin, milk synthesis. Sige nga, isa pa. Try lang natin. Which part of the ovary is rich in aromatics? What cells? Granulosa cells. What part forms mainly the progesterone? Corpus. Aromatization of androstenedione will lead to what enzyme? Aromatization of androstenedione. Very good, estrone na. How about aromatization of testosterone? Estradiol. In order for testosterone to be dihydrotestosterone, what enzyme is needed? Five alpha reductase. How many rings are there in cholesterol? 4 rings. Sa 4 rings na yun, how many are cyclohexane? How many are cyclohexane? Tatlo. Side chain cleavage enzyme, also known as desmolase, will cleave cholesterol between what two carbons? 20 and 22. The double bond between carbons 5 and 6 is transferred to carbons 5 and 4 from pregnenolone to progesterone via what enzyme? Delta 5 for isomerase. Ang galing! What is the more potent or more active pathway between the two? DHEA or progesterone pathway? The DHEA pathway. Ang galing ah. Which part of the menstrual cycle where luteinizing hormone is detectable in the urine? O ba't naging biyan, James? Sige. Which part of the menstrual cycle where you develop one dominant follicle? Follicular. Which part of the menstrual cycle is almost constant at 14 days? Luteal phase. What part of the menstrual cycle where you use pregnancy test? Luteal pa rin. What part of the menstrual cycle can the egg be fertilized or not? Luteal phase. What part of the menstrual cycle is there an LH surge peak in LH levels? Ovulatory. Okay, very good. Ang galing. Inhibin and activin regulate what hormone? FSH. Sige, okay na yan. Kaya niya na yan. Very good. Good job. Which statement is false about luteinizing hormone? A, B, C, or D? Type in the chat box. Alin yung mali? Alin yung mali? Alam niyo yung mahirap yung tanong kasi walang nagchat-chat sa group, nasa chat box. Kung may nag-chat, nag-direct message na lang. Kaya yan. Alin yung false about luteinizing hormone? Remember yung kaninang graph, yung positive and negative feedback inhibition or positive negative feedback. Yung isa A, may sumagot ng A, may sumagot ng B. Huwag na kayo mag-DM. Okay, may sumagot ng A. Type in the chat box kung ano tingin niya sagot. Tingin niyo ba magiging mali yung magiging mali dyan yung hindi ko tinuro? Sige, kanya yan. Okay, the answer is letter A. Bakit? LH, 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 Leydig cells, Leydig cells, Leydig cells increase testosterone. Ba't ka mag-inhibit? Diba? So, na-discuss na ata kanina ng Dr. Madarcos. A neonate is born with ambiguous genitalia. Within 48 hours, the infant becomes distressed and hypotensive. The lab shows hyponatremic, hyperkalemic. Meron kang maraming 17-hydroxyprogesterone. Bakit marami? Mamaya makikita niyo. Mataas si testosterone, mababa si cortisol. Diagnosis CAH. Si CAH, group siya ha, hindi siya isang single na sakit. It is a group of autosomal recessive disorder and deficiencies of this enzyme will lead to lessen sa sex hormones usually. You may also encounter problems with the mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, and na-detect naman sa newborn screening. Treatment is, syempre, replacement kung ano yung deficient and may give antihypertensive and anti-androgen. Dahil wala kang synthesis ng aldosterone, mababa yung renal absorption of sodium and hindi ka nag-excrete ng potassium, kaya ka merong electrolyte imbalance. Dahil meron kang deficiency sa 21 alpha hydroxylase, mataas ang 17. Bakit? Kasi kung titignan niyo to, ito si 21 alpha hydroxylase. If wala ka nito, hindi ka mag-progress. Progesterone will not be converted and the 17-hydroxyprogesterone will not be converted. Kaya mataas itong levels. Kung makikita niyo kanina, sa case, ito yung mataas. Bakit? Kasi hindi ka nga nag-generate ng cortisol. Okay. The most common is 21 alpha hydroxylase deficiency. Wow, parang ganito sa pato ah. Didiscuss din naman to next, para lang may idea kayo. There are absent or deficient mineralocorticoids and glucocorticoids and overproduction of androgens. Kasi nga, since hindi ka nag-lead to aldosterone and cortisol production, the excess enzyme will lead to this pathway. Hence, mataas yung testosterone mo, mataas yung sex hormones mo, kaya ka merong virilization, masculinization, early puberty. Pinakamalala si 3-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. Ayan. Ito yung wala. Ay, ito pala yung pinakamalala. Si 11-beta-hydroxylase deficiency, the most serious. No cortisol, aldosterone, and cortisol. Ayan. Yan. Inunti-unti lang natin. Since CAH is a group of autosomal recessive deficiency, para lang makita nyo, hindi lang si 21 alpha hydroxylase deficiency meron din tayong 3-beta hydroxysteroid deficiency. Ito, wala, lahat. 11-beta hydroxylase deficiency, ito naman wala. 17 alpha hydroxylase deficiency, ito naman wala. So marami kang aldosterone. Doc, kailangan ba namin yung malaman ngayon? No, I just want to show you the application of what we are learning today sa upcoming years niyo. Now we have a 21-year-old male, tall stature, slim and long limbs, few facial hair, and few body hairs, narrow shoulders, small penis, gynecomastia, low IQ. mataas si LH, mababa si testosterone, azoospermia, karyotype, extra X, diagnosis, Klinefelters. Kung makikita niyo si patient, sa books, ganyan nakikita niyo. Yan. Ayan. You may read this on your own time. Gusto ko lang makalaman nyo sa books, ganyan yung makikita. Kasi ang treatment, magbibigay kang testosterone. Since malaki yung breast niya, magtatanggal ka, magmamastectomy ka. At psychotherapy kasi since maraming problema sa kanya, magkakaroon siya ng poor self-esteem and other mental problems. Tignan niyo yung mukha niya na. Tignan niyo yung picture na to. Yung merong black na ano sa mata. Gusto ko lang malaman nyo na hindi lahat ng Klinefelters ganun itsura. Yung iba ganito.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel today. So today I wanted to show you what it's like to have a body along the spectrum of someone that has Klinefelter syndrome 47XXY. So there's a lot of outdated information floating around on the internet, a lot of really old photos with black strips along people's eyes, and this is me. So I do not have gladocomastia, though a lot of my weight does go to my lower abdomen area, my love handles. And if you stick to the side, push my belly out a little bit, you can kind of see like this area here is where my weight goes. That's just how it is. I live my life. I enjoy taking my shirt off, going to the beach, and doing awesome things. There are guys that I'm friends with that are awesome bodybuilders that are ripped. There are also guys that are affected with gladocomastia. It's everything and in between. If you saw someone out in public, you probably wouldn't know that they had Klinefelter syndrome. Talk to y'all soon.
Dapat ito.
When you say syndrome or you were diagnosed, like those words are very strong, you know, and you feel like, what, there's something wrong with me? Hey, my name's Seamus, I'm 34. So 47XXY basically means that I've got an extra chromosome and my body doesn't produce sperm and I have low testosterone. So I knew I had physical differences when I was 23, when I, was sexually active, and I knew I looked different. My energy levels would be down, I'd feel fatigued, I'd want to go to sleep. And no matter what I ate, there was still something else that I needed. Most men with 47XXY have all these difficulties, learning difficulties, being tired, infertile. It's treated with testosterone injections, and it's taken me 3 years to, get to this part of my life. I think I've got something special and it's going to lead me throughout life to help others.
So what's the purpose of these videos? These two videos are just to show you and just to teach you to keep an open mind. Kasi hindi lahat ng Klinefelter, hindi lahat ng sakit na nababasa nyo sa libro, natututunan nyo sa med school, isa lang itsura. Some cases are mild, some cases are not obvious, but they are there, and let's not invalidate things, no. And of course, you have our Turner syndrome. Mataas si LH, FSH, mababa si estradiol, taas si TSH, taas si blood glucose, karyotype 45XO. Ay, tignan nyo lang itsura. Yan. Parang usually nasa libro. Infertile sila, ha? Osteoporosis, estrogen replacement, of course, and vitamin D. Avoid obesity. Ito yung mga itsura ng mga Klinefelters. Turner syndrome. Ganda.
Getting diagnosed at 12 as a young kid, it was definitely pretty scary. Being told I would have to take a shot every night, and then I'd have to get an x-ray, an ultrasound of like everything. It was pretty scary, and it definitely developed like severe anxiety of going to doctors and everything. And I'm actually on an anxiety medication called Lexapro, so I take that every night, and it seems to help pretty good. And it's basically a syndrome where the girls have two X chromosomes, and in like a bad case of it, normally one of the chromosomes would completely just like go away, but so one of mine went half and it went to the other one instead. So I have all my chromosomes, they're just like a little bit screwed up, I guess. Basically messes up like all of your hormones and stuff. Like a lot of people with Turner syndrome does not produce estrogen at all, which is like the main hormone a girl needs in her body, and it can really mess with your heart, your kidneys, your pancreas, like all of your organs. Like I had to get x-rays and ultrasounds of like almost everything in my body. So I have a very minor case. So when they told me I had to do all this, like at 12 years old, it was like pretty scary. But luckily everything came back that it was really good. But they said that every now and then in the future, I might have to get an x-ray or ultrasound of something again just to make sure it's still good. But for right now, everything's good. I feel like I'm not as upset as like maybe other people would be, but like, yeah, definitely it's kind of sucks not to be able, because every, young girl always dreams of like being a mother. But like I kind of came to terms with it, and I'll be able to adopt in the future or just like anything like that, As of right now, I don't feel like it really even affects my life anymore, because all of those tests I did was just one time so far. I'm sure as I get older, I might have to like deal with a few more extra things. But as of right now, the only thing is like, not having ovaries and having to take medication for like anxiety and just stuff like that. But right now it's not really affecting me much, so that's nice. And it actually only 2% of babies in the womb were actually born. So it's like very rare for someone with Turner syndrome to actually be born, because most unfortunately don't make it. But it's not like hereditary or anything, so I don't necessarily think you can pass it down as like much as someone who doesn't have it, but it's not like very common. So it was definitely a little nerve-wracking to post a video about it, but I've never met anybody or talked to anybody with Turner syndrome because it's like really rare. But I actually got so many new friends from making those videos who have Turner syndrome, and we've got to talk about it, and that's definitely been helpful and nice to be able to relate to someone who has it for sure.
So ayun, gusto ko lang talaga malaman nyo, hindi lahat ng Turners o hindi lahat ng Klinefelters ganito itsura. They are real. Sabi ng babae kanina, kahit mild yung meron siya, matindi yung affectation sa mental health niya. Yeah, if you were to encounter such patients, always be gentle, keep your voice down, practice confidentiality, and be mindful always. Be empathetic. Sige, meron pa tayo isang video, pero sige, we can skip lang ba? Kapag mataas si GnRH, siyempre matataas si FSH and LH, taas testosterone. No? Yan, sige. You can read this at your own time. So before we end, I just want you to listen to this video.
What if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition. We partnered with private companies asking which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs and who's going to earn the most money. In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. A few years ago, I started studying grit in the Chicago public schools. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take grit questionnaires, and then waited around more than a year to see who would graduate. Turns out that grittier kids were significantly more likely to graduate, even when I matched them on every characteristic I could measure. Things like family income, standardized achievement test scores, even how safe kids felt when they were at school. So it's not just at West Point or the National Spelling Bee that grit matters, it's also in school, especially for kids at risk for dropping out. Every day, parents and teachers ask me, how do I build grit in kids? So far, the best idea I've heard about building grit in kids is something called growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Carol Dweck, and it is the belief that the ability to learn is not fixed, that it can change with your effort. Dr. Dweck has shown that when kids read and learn about the brain and how it changes and grows in response to challenge, they're much more likely to persevere when they fail because they don't believe that failure is a permanent condition. So growth mindset is a great idea for building grit, but we need more. We need to take our best ideas, our strongest intuitions, and we need to test them. We need to measure whether we've been successful, and we have to be willing to fail, to be wrong, to start over again with lessons learned.
So, ayun na nga. Ang med school kasi, hindi siya sprint. Marathon siya. First year kayo. Pero pang second year, may third year pa. May clerkship, may internship. Medyo mahirap ang biochem, oo. Mahirap yung anatomy. Pero kapag bumagsak kayo, umangon kayo, laban lang na laban. Huwag kayong susuko kasi para maging doktor, kailangan kasi kasi kailangan gustuhin nyo talaga yan eh. Kasi pahirap lang to ng pahirap. Not to discourage you, pero huwag kayong matakot bumagsak. Kapag bumagsak kayo, matuto na lang kayo. Bakit kayo bumagsak? Kapag nahirapan kayo, huminga ka, step back. Tapos huminga kayo, tapos laban lang ulit. Ba't wala? Yan na. So here are my sources. Thank you. Basta tayo. On time tayo ha. May tanong ba kayo? Kasi ilan na lang yung lecture ko sa inyo eh. Gusto ko kasi maturo sa inyo yung mga bagay na hindi nyo nababasa sa libro. Si James nag-rocket pa.
Sige, Dok, turo nyo na po ngayon.
Hoy, 4:55 na, 5 minutes na lang.
Baka magalit yung mga classmates.
Sige, kung wala naman kayong questions, pwede ba tayo mag-closing prayer? Sino pwede mag-closing prayer?
Opo, Doc.
Sige, closing prayer na tayo.
Let's put ourselves in the presence of the Lord in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, thank you for this afternoon class. Thank you for our professors for their guidance and for their wisdom. May we all have a safe weekend, and thank you for everything we've learned. In Jesus' name, amen.
Sige, bye-bye.